Hey everybody, it's Alison Heikkila. Thank you so much for joining me for my newest video for Imagine. So I recently watched one of Jennifer McGuire's videos and she used 3D embossing folders to make a ton of cards with ink to get sort of a letterpress kind of effect, but she used the reverse side of the embossing folder. So that's what we're going to try to do today, but we're going to use this gorgeous golden glitz Delicata. I love the Delicata inks, and golden glitz is definitely one of my favorites. It's the most beautiful gold ink I've ever worked with. So what we're going to do here is I've got this 3D embossing folder die from Sizzix, and you could see how cool that texture is. We're going to apply our ink to the raised side. So you could see how this is indented. See right here, it goes in, and then you've got all of these flat spots, whereas on this side, it pushes up. So we're going to add our ink to this side, which is technically the back, but it's going to look cool when we're done. So I've got some red cardstock. We're going to do kind of a holiday card. I don't know why, I just thought it would be fun to do this technique with a holiday sort of theme. So I am just applying this ink to the whole back of the folder. It'll wash up just fine. This is a water-based ink, so we don't have to worry about, it staining or anything. It's a pigment ink. It'll be just fine. Look at how cool that looks already. Isn't that fun? So I'm tapping it. I don't really want to rub it too much because I don't want to swipe any of the ink away, but I think that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to take my red cardstock. This has a texture to it. Can you see that texture? I'm going to put the texture face down into the inked side. I'm going to close this up, and then I'm going to run it through my die cut machine. All right, ready? Let's see what this looks like. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. And this will we can run another piece of cardstock through or just wash this off. Look at how pretty that is. That is cool. So this is what, it would look like if you just ran it through. This is the front. But the back, when you use this inking technique, is really great. So let's step it up a little bit more. I've got some Rhubarb Stalk Memento ink, and I've got a little brayer. This is the brayer that I use whenever I'm applying ink, not paint. I'm just going to apply this. It's going to be pretty dark at first, and that's all right. But it's going to really make these pieces stand out. And again, this is a 3D embossing folder, so there are several dimensions on here. There's highs, there's lows, there's mids, so it's going to look really great because it's going to bring out the highest points with this dark color, but that red of the cardstock is still going to show through, and that gold is just going to really shine. Look at how cool that looks so far. It'll dry back a little bit, but it's going to look great. So I'm going to finish inking this up. Okay, that is all inked up, and you can see how pretty those colors are together. Loving this. Okay, so now we need our sentiment. So I've got this Bold Tidings mini stamp set, and we're going to use Believe in the Magic. I think that's going to look really nice, like right here. And I've got some scrap black cardstock. And we're going to stamp that with the Delicata Golden Glitz, because why not have a little bit more shimmer, right? Just putting this into my Misty. I've taken out the mouse pad because this is a cling stamp. It's foam with red rubber, so we can't have the mouse pad in there. So now we're going to stamp this up again with the Golden Glitz. It's recommended to not emboss this ink, even though it is a pigment, because you'll lose some of the metallic shimmery qualities. So we're going to just leave it be. You can speed up the drying process if you want to by heat setting it with an embossing gun or a heat gun of some kind, but we're not, whoop, that didn't stamp so good, that's all on me, but we're not going to emboss it. One more time. It could just be the position that I have it in MISTI. Sometimes there are areas that don't like to stamp as well, I find. Okay. It's a little bubbled, but I like it. I like that it's imperfect. Look at that shine, seriously. It's gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna move this out of the way. Now we're gonna trim this down. And a little bit more off the bottom, just a little bit. There we go. Isn't that pretty? That's really nice so far. Okay, so I've got some like suede, faux suede ribbon, cording, something, and I've got this kind of grosgrain. I think that I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm talking as if I'm doing a live, right? We're not doing a live right now, Alison. There's nobody here but me. I actually think that that looks pretty good. Do I like it better this way? Yes, I do. So we're going to do it that way. So I'm going to just trim a piece of this off. This is how I store my ribbons and my twine and stuff. I use either like little zip, like twist ties, or I use paper clips and hold them into these nice little spools, and then I put them into a big jar. It works for me. Okay, so now we're going to glue this down. I'm going to use some tape on the back to hold it down more. That looks good. Flip this over. And I'm just going to use some Scotch tape. We're going to wind up gluing on top of this anyway. It'll be fine. No one's going to know but us that there's tape under here. But I prefer to have it wrapping around the card front like this, as opposed to having it end here, because it could fray, it could peel up. So that's that. That's so pretty. Okay, a little bit of glue. And then we'll attach it to our card base. Okay, I've got a card base, and I'm not leaving it white. It's okay. I actually thought about making it black, but let's use the Delicata again. So we've used it with our embossing folder, we've used it to stamp our sentiment, and now we're going to ink the edges of our card base to give it a fabulous shimmer. Have you used Delicata inks before? And if so, what have you used them on? What techniques have you done? I have to say, like, seeing it here like this just makes me so happy because it's just so beautiful. It's definitely my favorite gold ink by far. Okay. Look at that. That is really elegant. All right, let's get this glued down and we'll be done with our card. Okay. That is really pretty. Perfect for the holidays, and it doesn't take long to make it all. And if you have some 3D embossing folders, I hope that you try this technique. I'll have all of the supplies listed in the description box below, as well as the inspiration video that I had seen from Jennifer McGuire. So thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that you have a fantastic day. Be well, stay safe, Peace out.